Yo, what's up, what's up? Yes, what's next is complicated.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Complicated Discord. As always, your boy Dex.
JacobiJones here.
Your boy Alexander Benedict.
Christy, Miss Nice Nasty.
So welcome back, everyone. It looks like we're finally at full mass again. We got the entire crew with us today, and we got some great conversations for you. But before we even start with that, let's go ahead and find out who's drinking what.
Good old
ladies first.
liquid crack.
Okay, I see you got that Starbucks right there.
Liquid crack, yeah.
If I'd have been smart enough, if I knew back then to invest in Starbucks when I was coming up, boy, be a different conversation. How about you, Jacobi? What you have?
I am drinking chamomile. Is that how you say it? Chamomile, the tea.
Chamomile
the one that's supposed to like relax you.
So.
Yeah.
You need relaxing this early in the morning?
Well, I don't. I normally have. We ain't here to talk about my life, girl. Okay.
Jacobi's in recovery mode. He's had a wild couple of days. It was his cousin's birthday, wasn't it? You went out the other night and you
it was not my birthday. It was your cousin's. It was my cousin's birthday. Yes. And that's all. I got a little what?
No, I say you went out. You had a good time. Had a couple of drinks. So now you trying to
hydrate
again, huh?
Hydrate. Yes.
I could dig it. As for me, I got a little surprise here for everyone. On our last show, I remember I was telling everyone about a drink called Death by Sex. Well, here it is. That's a Death by Sex, that bright red color, and it is amazing. The ingredients will be displayed right now, actually. So go ahead and try it out and enjoy. Yo, Jacobi, what was that you got on right there? Let me see your shirt.
This beautiful bad boy is a part of the new line that I started from my channel. Don't forget to smile. And it's established in 1942. Now I picked 1942 because that's the year my grandmother was born and I wouldn't be here without her. So this is like a beautiful tribute to why I'm so awesome is because she's so awesome.
In other words, you are paying homage to the original G's, huh?
That's right, to the original. That's exactly what it is. But yeah, so I just started this, you guys. Go check it out on my Instagram and my shop. Don't forget to smile. It comes in 4 different prints, and there's some more other Jacobi-isms I've made with t-shirts. And check it out on my Instagram.
The links below. Make sure you go ahead and check it out, everybody.
What'd you say?
The links are below. Everybody, make sure you go check it out.
Please do. And I'm trying to keep everything reasonable at like $30 or less.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Let's go ahead with the Audacity. For the Audacity, I got something that I got something. Let me know if you guys can hear everything good.
Oh my God.
Oh, I seen this.
Just pop that in. There Oh, this is going to be so good.
That looks perfect.
No, it's not going to be so good.
Oh, you already emptied this part.
Yeah, I emptied that part.
This is so gross.
I'm going to start loading up this paint out here. Obviously, Sprite. Yeah.
Obviously, Sprite. Obviously.
Oh, my God. We can replace this.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Wow. So it starts. Oh, look, it is. It's filling up.
Wow.
It's filling up.
Yeah. Go ahead and just get that in there. Get some ice in the punch.
Oh, nice.
Set the punch here. One for you.
The nerve. The nerve.
So for everyone that's listening and not watching, that was a video that was dropped recently. The video was a lot longer, but it was cut down. It was edited to save time. But it was a woman who made a punch, some kind of juice punch in a toilet, which she blocked up with some rags at first. And then she made the juice. And when I first saw it, the first thought that jumped into my head was, bitch, are you in prison? The fuck? Why are you making toilet wine for everybody?
Yeah, that's what I said.
My second thought was, when these people find out that they just drank out of a toilet, it's gonna be
they can't be held accountable for their actions. They deserve to plead insanity for real.
That takes a whole new level of, you know how you say you don't eat at a potluck? It's the same thing. Like certain people's home that I go to, I don't eat at their homes either when I go there. So
they'd be like,
it's just.
I could always say, hey, would you like some? Nah, I'm good. Yeah, but I just ate. You've been here for 15 hours. I had a big dinner yesterday. So I'm good. Thank you though.
Yeah.
I wonder, like the gross part to me is clearly it's an operating toilet because you felt the need to clog it. You know what I mean? Like it's just I just don't understand. But white peopling.
I knew it was coming.
That's all I can say.
It's not just any. No, that's not a particularly just white. That's a like oblivious. Like
it was only white people were in that video.
Listen.
No, I'm saying because I have white friends that would be like, "Yo, that's fucking nasty." I'm talking about like cream of the crop, oblivious. Like you have.
And I know some black people who would drink that shit just because they want to be white so bad. Candace Owens.
Well, here's my thing. When I first saw it, I was like, because I saw it about a few days ago, right? I'm like, man, that would have been a good thing if it was a prop, like a prop toilet.
Yeah. Like, you know how they have them at like car shows. They have toilet shows where it's just sitting there. But to be attached to the wall and the plumbing works, I don't think so.
I'm not okay with that at all.
That was at our house. I mean, somebody's used that toilet in the past and we'll use it in the future.
So there's doo-doo flakes in that toilet. Like
you literally can't sanitize that toilet enough. Enough people have shit, piss, and vomited in that fucking toilet. So it is a no for me.
A no for me.
The funniest part to me was when she was like, obviously the Sprite. Bitch, there is nothing obvious about what you're doing. You are making juice in a toilet to serve to your guest. The only thing obvious is that you shouldn't be doing it. That shit is gross.
Right.
That shit
topper to the drink.
Bro, that shit is reminiscent of what was the name of that movie with Hannibal Lecter when he's having that big ass feast and they come to find out they're eating somebody?
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
No, that was Hannibal. Silence of the Lambs. That was in Hannibal.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
That was either Hannibal or Red Dragon, one of the two.
I think it's Silence of the Lambs.
Nope. In Silence of the Lamb, he was in jail most of the time. They were trying to catch him.
It was one before that.
It was either prequel. Hannibal or Red Dragon Rising.
It wasn't Red Dragon.
Then it was Hannibal.
Okay then. Anyway, yes. All those people are oblivious.
Argued about that shit.
You just sit here like, when are these boys gonna be done?
That's the nerd in us. Don't judge me.
I haven't seen this show, so I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It's crazy that these people are oblivious to the fact that they're drinking booty water. Like juice.
Well, you know what though? What the audacity is for me is that someone sat in there and watched her do it and recorded her and still didn't tell their white friend.
They ain't say nothing.
Yes.
Actually was just like, that looks sherbet.
Booty flavor.
Hey, hold on. Are you not gonna have any? Nah. I've drank enough. I'm good.
I mean, and she didn't do what she was supposed to do. Otherwise, she's white though. But I mean, someone with common sense would have been like, disclaimer: this thing has been soaked in bleach just to not gross people out. But I think she was going for this whole disgust factor.
Yeah, it might have just all been staged.
Oh yeah, she won that.
So
100%.
But I'm saying that if that was done for real, right, that she would have deserved every bit of that ass whooping that she would have got from everybody that was at that party. Okay,
right.
Into a coma.
And
you just know there would have been that one guy that would have been like, you made this in the toilet?
Yeah,
okay, that's pretty good. So, I guess I'll let you slide this one time, Susie.
I mean, some people are into stuff like that. Don't ask me no questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of
out there. Jacobi, that's a whole nother episode, Jacobi.
It's a whole nother episode. We ain't here to talk about my life.
Like that show, 2 Girls in 1 Cup.
That's not a show. Don't watch it. Don't Google it.
Video
Don't you listen to Pete. We don't endorse that type of shit on this show.
I mean, at the end of the day, I will say I've met some men who have asked me to do some rather gross stuff. And I try not to judge. You know what I mean? Ooh, you pee on me. Ooh, can you shit on my chest? Weirdos like weirdo shit.
I think the question on everyone's mind is, have you done these things?
Oh, no.
No. Not all of them.
Jacobi, say hell no, Jacobi. Say hell no, Jacobi.
Not all of them.
Hey, I don't judge.
But I might have whizzed on a dude or two in my day. I don't know.
Okay, R. Kelly.
Piss, pee
with
on
consent.
you, pee on
With
you.
consent.
But
That's
but to go ahead and get things moving, since we're talking about death by sex drinks here, let's go ahead and start this off with a very interesting question. Has anyone here ever been in a fuck buddy relationship, a cutty buddy, friends with benefit type situation?
Yeah, I think probably all of us have had at some point because none of us are like lambs in this game anymore.
Listen, well, since we've all been in friends with benefit relationship, fuck buddy relationships, do you guys feel like that's something that can happen now? Like that's a thing that still goes on? Me personally, I feel like the fuck buddy-ism, I guess, the ride is over. I feel like today's generation ruined the term fuck buddy because they don't know how to separate shit. See, most people don't understand there's a difference between a fuck buddy and a friends with benefits.
What's the difference?
A fuck buddy is somebody you call only when you want to have sex. You go over, you screw, you leave. You don't talk, you don't hang out, you don't talk on the phone. Y'all aren't friends. Y'all link, you bust a nut, and you're going about your business. A friends with benefit, on the other hand, is someone that you can be friends with, smash, and still separate the two. It's a very different concept, and not a lot of people understand or can do that.
I never thought about that actually.
I agree with you. I do. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I've been in both of the situations, and I feel like in today's world, fuck buddies can't exist because a lot of the younger generation kind of ruined that. In fact, you know what? Back in my day, when you started a fuck buddy relationship, if that's what you would do, you would invite the other person over to Blockbuster and kick back and watch a movie. We're gonna watch this movie, and then 15 minutes into the movie,
the original Netflix and chill.
Original
Right.
Netflix and chill was a Blockbuster Friday night special.
Or as I seen, I don't Netflix and chill. I VHS and fuck.
Yep.
That's what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
We didn't put a label on it. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you invited somebody over to watch a movie, they kind of got the point. Like nothing was said, but it was all said. Girls knew to wear matching panties and bra. They shaved. They got themselves squared away because they knew, hey, I'm gonna go watch a movie for about 3 minutes of the night, and then the rest of the night, I'm gonna be looking at someone's headboard.
Right.
So mine is friends with benefits. Definitely, I would say is just that I've had that. Like, it's someone that I would still like talk to outside of like having sex or whatever, that will go to functions or whatever and hang out in a group of friends together, kind of thing. So maybe I might have had one or two people that I've had like hookups with that only hookup, but traditionally it's been friends with benefits kind of thing. Because I kind of like the company, not the relationship expectations of it, but just the whole like it's a familiar person that we have a good time together. Because sense of humor means a lot to me. I have to kind of like you somewhat. You have to know the person. Although it's not someone I want to have a relationship with, I still want to have some sort of connection on a certain level, whether it's food, movies, museums, something like that or whatever, but no title to it.
Yeah, but do you think that today's generation could still do that? Do you think that they can keep up, or not even today's generation, just in today's day and age? Do you think friends with benefit is still possible? Do you think people can still pull that off without all the judging and the canceling and you a hoe and you ain't shit nigga and all this stuff going on?
No.
It goes back to what I always say, guys, and you guys probably tired of hearing me say this shit. It all goes back to a conversation about we're only friends with benefits, and that's what it is.
You know what your problem is? You're too much of a therapist. If I want to be a hoe, let me be a hoe, Christy. Don't judge me. Don't make me have to talk to people now and explain my hoe-dem to them. Let them find out about my hoe in small, gradual, and then one giant, just big mess.
Yeah, no, but seriously though, it's honestly, I do. Friends with benefits could happen in any day's society. The thing is, the reason why friends with benefits don't really happen is because there's one person who's probably in a relationship that is having a friends with benefits outside of it kind of thing, and then that person get exposed. That's what that is.
I have this mantra where I don't fuck my friends. So when I think about this, I feel like I've never had friends with benefits. I have fuck buddies. But I don't, because like there's some dudes that I've been like in a casual fuck buddy friendship relationship with, and we've like done stuff that was kind of friendshipy, like going out to the bars and movies and dinner. But then at the end of it though, for me, in my head, we're not friends because I don't fuck my friends.
Oh wow.
So you might think that we friends. There's one guy, he was like, you know what, why can't we just be friends? We're not friends. I suck your dick. I don't suck my friend's dick. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I feel.
That is a good way to look at it too, Jacobi. I see your point.
Yeah.
I actually have to agree with you, Jacobi. I don't fuck friends for the simple reason, once you hit that threshold,
once you see your ecstasy face, we ain't friends no more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? But I have never had any.
I've hooked up with a friend or two in my past, and we've remained friends for a while.
Yeah, some people can. I just don't want to do that.
That is about the maturity of the person that's doing the screwing. If you know how to separate the two, then you're golden. You can hook up with somebody and then tomorrow be like, yo, what up, homie? Like,
but I don't want to separate the two. I'm just thinking for me, I know you're not attacking.
No, yeah.
But I don't want to think of, I do. It's weird though, because I do know that you should marry your best friend, and how you gonna marry your best friend without fucking them. But like fuck buddy friends with benefits thing, like I detach that.
So this is the thing too. I think that we're confusing the true definition of friends when we're saying friends with benefits kind of thing too. So like I have my hardcore friends, and I have friends that are my acquaintance friend in a circle, you know what I mean? That we're in a circle of, acquaintances that we do things together. I literally have 5 friends that are my true definition of friends, that if some shit go down, that's it.
I only see 3 of us here. Where are the other 2?
I was really thinking so Jacobi and who these other 4 people, I don't know.
That's a good one, Dex. That's a good one. So I'm saying, right, like we could be friends with benefits with like someone that, you know what I mean? I don't know. It all depends on the 2 adults that are consenting to say that we are only having sex with no expectations, no titles, and they still are able to do things together. Like I've had friends with benefits, a guy that I've known since I was like 19 or 18 or something like that. Him and I were still friends today. Like we're still friends, and we've went out together. Like he's been to my family functions, like stuff like that. And all we've done is like, there's never been a title between us.
Hey, you know what?
I get it.
My next question goes out to Pete. Hey, Pete, how about you? How do you and that guy that you've been seeing down there remain friends and still work together after everything happened between y'all?
What are you talking about?
You cheating on me?
Ooh,
we're gonna learn about this on national television, live on the internet. This is how I gotta find out.
My bad.
First off, Dex, you got jokes. I've never had a fuck buddy. Like I've had a few friends with benefits, and yeah, like Christy said, it's one of those things where both people consent to what's going on, and we're cool. We already know what it is and what it could be, but it won't, because we don't want to pass that threshold. But I do believe what you said, Jacobi. I would like, for me to be married to somebody at this point in time, she would have to be my friend first. We'd have to be friends. We would have to be friends before lovers, and so on and so forth, which luckily I think I found that, but that's another story for another time. But yes, that's how I feel.
Can I ask Pete a question real quick? Can I ask Pete a question? Pete, so you said you don't have fuck buddies, right?
I never had a fuck buddy.
Never had a fuck buddy. No time at Fort Hood, never had a fuck buddy.
You know what? I was thinking that same thing, girl.
I've had friends with benefits.
I have to clarify about the whole Fort Hood stay. That's why I'm asking. I need to clarify.
You took the thoughts out of my head because I was just like, I could have sworn you told me that you used to be a hoe.
Yeah.
I feel like people like to us.
Well, granted, I've had jump offs, and I wouldn't necessarily call them. I wouldn't necessarily call
one night stands
because with a fuck buddy, you would call, you would reserve that time, and you know that. You know what I'm saying? I would have a jump off or two, you know, she just show up randomly. I'm just like, oh hey, y'all got to go. Hey, y'all got to go. And then, you know, I put the socks around the door.
Hold on. You kicked your friends out for a jump off? You were a terrible person. Jump offs don't get that.
Respect.
When jump offs come over, hey fellas, give me about 50 minutes. I'll be right back. Come on, let's go. Your friends here, yeah, they was here before you got here. They're gonna be here when you do the walk of shame.
I'm with Pete on this.
I was in infantry barracks, so
I would throw a motherfucker out.
When a jump off had to come up to the third floor, she had to put us to work. All right,
Listen,
she put in work.
I'm gonna tell you this: if a jump off came over to my house unexpectedly and I have all my homeboys over, she had better bought a mega box of condoms because. Listen, she about to get turned out.
It's terrible.
But
am I horrible or are they horrible for letting it happen? That's what you got to ask yourself. I provide the opportunity. You can deny it if you want to. If you accept the opportunity, then I'm no longer to blame. I just put you in a right place and a right time.
I get it.
And everybody else put it in you. So.
You're fucking something else.
You know what though? With what Jacobi said, going back to where he said he in his head we're fuck buddies, but I think that's the worst feeling in the world to think that you and somebody are more than something, and then they're like, oh no, we just fucking, and you're like, oh my god. Oh, I
have it. You know what though? The funny thing that you mentioned that is because I would say the typical response every time I tell somebody that is like, you're an asshole. And I'm just like, hey, I'm just telling you, we ain't fucking friends, okay? My dick goes in you. I don't consider you a friend. You know what I mean? Like,
I respect that honesty because most niggas won't even give females that shit. They'll be like, what are we? They'll be like, hey, so what's going on? You know, we're whatever. They're whatever. Because, listen, after every friends with benefit goes on too long, that one question always comes up. What are we?
We are farmers, but
you know what it is though? It's only when the sex gets good, when the sex hits when that point hits in the sex where the person switches and they think, oh my God, I think I might care about this individual, or oh my God, I hope they're not fucking no one else. That is when what you just said, Dex, that
listen,
I smoked so much weed yesterday. I'm having brain fire.
But I could imagine you.
What was we talking about?
I could imagine that. Hey, Jacobi, what are we?
The what are we thing? Yeah.
Hawaii?
So once that thing switched, all of a sudden they want to know, what are we? You know what I mean? Like, it's happened to me or to other people before me. Where
that's when you hit them with the answer. What are we? We are life-based organisms.
I'm gonna use that.
I have never had that issue. Like, I'll tell you what is that it's very clear to me what we are, right? It's very, very clear. And most times, 99.9%
it's always
of
been
the
clear
time,
for you. Every time you've messed with someone, you've been very understanding and clear.
Very, very clear. Because usually I'm the one that don't want a relationship. I'm not with that. However, there was this one time in 2009 when I was supposed to have a random hookup with this person. And we talked for about a week. We met after a week. And then like literally in a month, we're in a relationship. I was just like, hey, are we going to be official? Like, you know, I want to be with you. And we got married and boom, we're together now 11 years later.
Let me ask you a question. What if that answer would have been, what are we? Can we make this official? We're officially fucking. Then what?
I would have accepted that. I'd have been fine with that because I had two other people that I was fucking with like just about the same time that I was like talking to and stuff like that. So it would have been fine. But this one was just more potential. And I had more like vibes or like, what do you call it? Connection to The electricity, the sparks was there. The sex was just nice.
You know what? That's gonna be a conversation for another time, Christy, about being, a standby. That's gonna be. Anyway, go ahead, Pete.
Yo, it's funny you said this because I just saw this meme earlier today, right? So there was these two gummy bears, and like one gummy bear, like looked like they reached inside the soul of the other gummy bear, and it was like when the girl tells you to go deeper, you put that deeper to touch her heart, and then like now she's in love with you.
Oh, I seen that one.
Exactly, that's what that is.
That's exactly what it is, because my heart's been jangled around several times.
Exactly.
That's because your innards were jangled around, Jacobi. It's hard for your heart not to move around with it.
Sure, you damn Skippy.
You're damn right.
It was this 6 foot. He was like 6'7", 13 inches. Girl, I had to get my tonsils removed just to take it anally. It was
Oh
amazing.
my God! Oh wow! All right, that's quite an image. That is.
I love it. Thank you, Jacobi, for that visual. I needed that.
But
I miss him to this day.
Yo, but
you miss breathing right to this day, apparently.
Girl, but I tell you, having my tonsils removed was the best decision I ever made in my life. But we're not here to talk about my life. Keep going.
No.
Carry on.
Carry on. But yes, Krista, you are 100% right. I feel like before, uglies bump, we should be, everybody in the relationship or situationship or whatever you want to call it should have these discussions before fucking, because at that point, fucking, once y'all start fucking, it's defined whether you want to believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's already had its definition. But once you talk about where y'all are at, I think that would make it more. Now, I'm not saying that's a foolproof, because, some dudes lie to get the pussy. I've lied to get the pussy myself.
Oh, you've lied.
I've lied to get dick.
I feel like that was a sarcastic question there, Christy. I feel like that was very sarcastic.
Was I the only guy to ever listen to Beanie Man? When we see a guy with fool,
hey, listen. Christy was like, wait, you lied to get pussy? Really?
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
I'd have never believed that.
Never.
I'd have never believed that.
But I do believe we need to have these discussions before fucking.
I feel like
I agree.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dex. Go ahead.
I feel like Pete says that because Pete is a very, very emotional person. And I feel like he's the one who lays there in bed spooning these hoes like, so what are we now? We fucked once for 15 seconds and you nutted. Like, you're upset, I'm upset. That's what we are. We're upset together. Like, nigga, you know what? You gotta go. You gotta go.
When I cry, you cry, we cry together.
Pete is like, no, you drugged me. You put the Viagra in my apple juice.
Oh my God!
This is
And you know that happened to him, right?
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
Listen, Pete.
So wait, Dex, not to interrupt you, but I have to say this, okay? I have to clear up an earlier statement that I made. The reason those other two people were not relationship like material for me is because I knew what I wanted. Like, so those are not people that I pictured to be in relationships with. They were just good to hang out with, and they, we had good sex or whatever, but it wasn't anyone that I would say that long-term that I would be with. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like every relationship before marriage is kind of a practice relationship. They're like, none of them are, I can't say they're not meant to be long-term.
Hell, some marriages are practice relationships. What are you talking about?
Touche.
Say that again, Jacobi. Say that again.
Some marriages. I'm just joking.
On
But
that,
for real.
Jacobi just shut me the entire fuck up. You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
That's true.
Every relationship is a learning experience for the next one. So now you're right. Especially when you get that person all good and proper, and then they go and take all that goodness to somebody else, and you're like, this motherfucker right here. I just fixed this motherfucker's credit, got him a good job, and now they're just gonna leave me. You know what? Y'all ain't shit.
I feel like were those personal jabs at me, Dex?
It happened.
You know what? And I talk shit about people, but I'm not gonna lie. I did get caught in that whole what's going on between us? What do you mean? Like what are we? What's going on here? Like, are we together? Are we not? And let me tell you what happened. She was like, oh, well, I don't know. I think I'll let you know, man. I got to think about this. Never heard from her after that.
I let you
I got
know.
dismissed and ghosted with the quickness.
Wow.
And then
Swayze.
But you know, it's so hard to be vulnerable like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Well, Jacobi, you're right. That's the thing about a relationship. You become vulnerable for somebody else. You open up yourself to let somebody in. You know what I'm saying?
bro, the worst part of that whole situation was I didn't even like her in the first place. Like
Yes, you did, because you wouldn't have asked if you
hold
did
on,
it.
no. I mean, like when we
Don't
first
be
met,
all Pierce Morgan, Meghan Markle bitter right now. Okay.
No. When we first met, I wasn't into her. Somebody came and said, "Hey, yo, she wants to like she trying to talk to you. Y'all want to go do something?" I was like, you know what? I don't got shit that's going on this weekend. Sure. I was in Hawaii actually. I was like, yeah, sure. Let me go out. And at first, it was just kind of like I was bored, and then she was like, "Hey," she had a fat butt too. She was like, "Hey, you know, let's hook up." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do this." And we started hooking up, and then we started hanging out more and going to the movies. That's how I fucked up. We started hanging out. I'm like, "Damn, her personality is dope. I like this girl." And the minute I said I like her, I was like, "Hey, so listen, I kind of like you. Like, what are we?" She was like, "Oh, what are we? You're you, and I'm somewhere else." And I was like, "Son of a bitch." And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Ain't no loving these hoes no more.
You should just never ask the "what are we" question. Period.
Right?
Never. Because if you were something, you would know.
The worst part
if
was
you
she
was
had
just
that
young
comeback too.
and you was
I was more
pussy
mad
whipped.
that
You
I
was
lost
young
that
and pussy
comeback
whipped.
than the relationship.
So this is the thing, right? If you're in a friends with benefits situation and you want to know what are we, just said, "Hey, Jacobi, I'm going out on a date on Saturday, so we can't hook up like we want to," and see what their response is going to be.
Nope.
Yeah,
Jacobi's the type to burn all your shit and murder everyone in the house off of a simple test. Nope. Nope.
That's
dare you?
That is a passive aggressive ultimatum move because
That's not. I don't think so at all.
What you're really asking is you're asking for the reaction. You're looking for the reaction. That's what you're doing.
Because that will let you know
where you stand, what you are. It'll let you know what you are.
So when you come back and your shit's all bleached and burnt and in shreds, you know exactly what
if you're friends with benefits, why the fuck would my shit be bleached and burnt and everything else? Like,
but
you know what I mean?
But if they think more than that and they're secretly crazily in love with you, then you'll find out, because either your shit'll be fine or your shit'll be burnt.
So do you want your shit to be burnt, or do you just want your feelings to be flat out hurt, to be like, "Nope, we're not together. I'm just using you as my cum dumpster right now, and that's it."
Oh,
girl, stop. I mean,
you know what?
I feel attacked again.
Is whenever I've said it in those exact words, people look at me like I'm crazy. I don't understand why. I don't get it.
So that's that. Don't ask the "what are we" question. End it.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, if you're uncertain, end that shit now, because you don't want, like, for me, I think the worst part of the relationship is the love Jones. It's fucking.
What's that mean?
Oh, love Jones? When you're jonesing, you're feeling like, for me, love is my worst drug. When I'm in love with somebody, that's like crack to me.
Really?
Yeah. Same here.
He said, "I know."
Like same here.
Yeah, that's toxic. I just want to let you know that's not healthy. That's toxic behavior.
I know. I agree with you on that too. I agree with Pete because I've felt that way before, and I agree with you. And this is why I seek therapy twice a week to make myself a better person.
Amen. Thank you.
So, what was I saying? Basically, okay. If you're in love with somebody at this point in time, and you're feeling like if you're feeling like the feelings don't reciprocate, now you have to take account of what are you looking for in a relationship. Is this what you want? Voice your opinion. Now, asking that what do we are, it could backfire. It could work out for you. It's all a game of chance.
What though?
Ain't that what life is?
You know what though? I do almost get Christy's point where she was like, just kind of, play the feel, because ain't nothing worse than when you take somebody out to like dinner and then they take somebody out to dinner and it's the same place. And now you're sitting here like, should I be mad? Are you going to be mad at me? I don't know where we are. Like that very unsure question on should we be punching each other in the face right now or are we good? Because believe it or not, I've been there too. Again, sadly in Hawaii, where I've bumped into somebody that I was hooking up with while I was with somebody else that I was hooking up with, and she happened to be with someone she was hooking up with. So it was kind of like, hey, should we all hang out? I'm not sure where this is gonna go.
This is the whole thing, though. Is that you guys are confusing friends with benefits with monogamy. Not because we're friends with benefits, you're the only person I'm hanging out with.
All right.
Hey man,
I got a quick story. All right. So I went to Fort Leonard Wood for AIT, right? If y'all don't understand, it's advanced individual training, right? You know what I'm talking about, Dex.
I know what it is too, yeah.
So the Budget Inn was the place to be on the weekend.
Right.
On point. You already know. So there was this one chick, right? Everybody was trying to get with her. And I tried. I shot by shot. I failed. I didn't think, too much of it. So in our class, we trained with Marines. So, it's Army and Marines. And it was this one G.I. Joe looking motherfucker, right? He finally got a chance to shoot his shot. And I think they were dead. It was weird. Anyway, he comes to the Budget Inn. He had flowers and chocolate and shit. And I'm sitting there. I'm smoking a black and mild. And he's like, hey, you see such and such? I was like, all right. You see that window right over there? It's fogged up. Yeah, she's over there getting the tray rat out her, man. Yeah, you can knock on the door if you like. Bro.
You ain't shit, Pete. You ain't shit. But I will tell you, I have.
Did you do it? Where did you go? Did you take your turn?
I tried, but I failed. I was like, all right.
Wait, you got passed up in a train?
Bro, here's what happened.
I wouldn't tell people that, Pete.
No, here's what happened. Here's what happened. They were playing spades, right? No, it was a spades or book. I can't remember.
It don't matter.
And all of a sudden, like they got quiet and they locked the door and they closed the window. And I'm like, hey, let me in. And I didn't hear a sound. And then he just, all right, bet. Well, you want to hit this black?
Right.
Wow.
Pete, you know what? I was in a similar situation and I did what you did, except I pulled my phone out and I was like, come on, let me, I got you. I'm gonna show you where she is. And I was just waiting for the hilarity to ensue. I ain't shit though. I say it all the time. I'm an asshole. It was hilarious to me. It was hilarious. And it wasn't me that it happened to. So that was also a big plus. It was a win for me. Because believe it or not, I have been on the receiving end of walking in and the girl I was hanging out with or trying to, hook up with is taking 4 or 5 dicks at a time. Let me tell you, it's traumatizing. It's
therapy
or exhilarating, one of the two.
Not if one of the dicks ain't yours, especially if all of the dicks are bigger than yours. You don't need that kind of.
You know what's so weird though.
About bigger dicks, dude. What the fuck?
I know he has a complex, girl.
He does.
No. Being a former veteran myself, being a veteran, day zero, you get to see about 60 dicks in one day. That's traumatizing. So the whole
exhilarating, exhilarating.
You become desensitized. You know what I'm saying? So just
listen. Y'all say I have a
that's
complex.
The goal.
But
you get fucked so good you desensitize.
Listen, y'all saying I have a complex. I don't feel like it's a complex. I feel like that's a very, very rational fear to know that the person that you are hooking up with or trying to hook up with is taking a dick that is vastly larger than yours.
Most people who have complexes don't believe that they have complexes.
Let me tell you what. Not because someone has a huge penis doesn't mean that it's any good or they know what to do with it.
I didn't say
that's from a man.
It was
that's from a
good.
woman.
I didn't say
because if it was all about size, we could get cucumbers to do that.
Bigger. Because what's the new craze? Oh, he got a big dick. I'm gonna.
That ain't no craze. And
don't
you
nobody
can't say that because you don't crave
I'm gonna go out
dick.
there and look for a micro penis to put in my mouth. I want a Tic Tac to suck on for 20
We are
minutes.
not.
Don't
So
nobody
micro
say that
penis
shit.
is a whole different story. Micro penis is a whole different story. I'm just saying that, like.
Yeah.
Real women are not focused. You're talking about them young girls.
I didn't say real women. If you were getting railed out by 4 or 5 guys, you weren't. You know what? I'm gonna keep my statement to myself because it's gonna sound sexist. But you all get where I was going with this.
I'm gonna just say this. Hold on, I'm gonna just say this. Listen, bigger
therapy.
doesn't necessarily mean better. I've heard that from
Who said
various
it?
movies. I've heard that.
I
You know?
told y'all I got fucked by a micro penis that was this big, and I kind of enjoyed it. Not all the way. Really
I told you
enjoyed
got
it,
tickled, Jacobi.
It got tickled. But I mean, it's not about size. And if it was really about size, I would have more than one cucumber in this
How
house
the fuck
right
did
now.
we get on this size subject?
I'm gonna say one thing, then we're gonna jump off of size. Okay. I think in the scariest thing that a guy could ever hear at this point in time is for a girl to look up and say, "Oh my God, this is so cute. This is the first one where I can get the whole thing in my mouth."
Oh my God.
If you hear that, your life is done. Because not only did she get it all in her mouth, but she's able to enunciate and speak with all of it in her mouth. So
Fuck.
Dex, you think about the worst like situations ever.
I was just thinking about the last
That's-
time I sucked some dick, and could I speak while I was doing it?
Yeah.
Look, that's gonna be a new challenge.
I guess I've never let that factor how big their dick is if I can still talk while it's in my mouth.
listen,
But I guess that's kind of true, actually.
if this becomes a TikTok challenge, I'm sorry, everybody. I
I'm
am
serious.
So sorry. That's gonna
That's
be a new
a
TikTok and
challenge.
Instagram challenge.
Yes. TikTok challenge.
The talk challenge. But to move on, Pete and Christy have been sticking with a general statement from Jump Off. It's all about communication. You got to have these talks before you sleep with somebody. But what happens when the talk isn't had? What happens when you meet someone and then you fucking suck them the night of, and now you're kind of sitting here like, well, I guess he was kind of cool, I guess. Does sex too soon ruin the chance of a relationship, or a healthy relationship, or hell, even a good relationship?
Do you mean like you just meet that night, like first time ever speaking, period, and you have sex that first night? Or
Sure,
are you
whatever.
talking about
Whatever,
just
doesn't matter.
having
Either
sex
way,
on the first date?
either way, doesn't matter. This
Oh,
sex,
I had sex on the first
sex
date.
before you establish it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
But do you feel like it
Me
ruins
too.
the relationship? Do you feel like it'll ruin the chance of a good relationship or a healthy relationship?
She married him.
I'm married, 11 years in.
Well, then
Can I
this is
say
for
this?
someone else, Christy. Why
I'm
you-
sorry.
say this.
That's what I was trying to clarify. Like, so for the past before, no, like I don't believe that it's ended like badly, because men that I've dated, friends with benefits, they kind of wanted more relationship with me and for me to have their babies and to get married and stuff like that. I shut that down. With my husband that I'm with currently now, we talked for a week. We went on a date. I think I told you guys this story. I took him to dinner. I paid for dinner. I took him to the liquor store, got drinks, and I was trying to pay for the hotel, and he didn't want to pay for the hotel, but I was trying to smash. We had sex that night. We went to breakfast the next morning. Oh, we had sex that morning, and then we went to breakfast, and then the breakfast kind of sealed the deal, and boom.
Christy, that almost sounds a little like date rape. Did he sign a
Oh
consent
my
form letting you know that that he wanted to give it up? You got that man drunk and you took full advantage.
I'm gonna say this: if his dick got hard, is it rape? That is still rape, right? Even if his dick gets hard, right?
Yep.
You know, that's hard for me. I mean, I guess they say so legally, but for me in my head, it's like, you enjoy this shit. Ain't nobody making you nut inside me right now.
If he was switching me in different positions, he's a willing participant. He wasn't raped.
He is willing after
Amen.
the fact. You can take away consent at any time.
He never took it away. He was giving it. He was throwing it up, making it rain, consent all over the place.
Oh, your husband is cute too. I can see him doing all these
I'm just saying. My bad. So that's my answer. I'll let you guys answer your part.
Hold on, Jacobi, give me 1 second. Hang on. Hey, Chrissy, just real quick. That happened in your specific relationship, but I mean, like, otherwise, do you think that it may affect anything?
It depends. It depends on who you're fucking with. You're either fucking with someone that ain't shit, that doesn't respect you really, or or just doesn't care, or you're fucking with someone who's on the same level of maturity as you are, and you guys, you know what I mean? So it depends, Dex. It's a conversation. That's my word. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt, Jacobi.
It's a conversation. You should, girl.
Go ahead, Jacobi. I'm sorry, I interrupted you before. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say it really boils down to the answer that she's given with most things, where communication is key. You know what I mean?
How about you, Pete? You over here all extra quiet.
So, when I was younger, my younger self, yeah, like if I fucked on the first night, Nah, we couldn't go past that. Now, y'all remember the Love Below by Andre 3000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that skit, Where Are My Pennies?
Did
Just
you
yeah.
say that whenever you did just your walk of shame?
Yeah, just because we fuck on the first night doesn't necessarily mean we can't grow from that. I mean, you wanted it, I wanted it, we wanted it, we made it happen.
I think it depends on what kind of fucking you were doing.
I knew Dex have something
I
coming.
mean, I think it's just communication, but you'd have to communicate about so how we fucking tonight, left, right,
well, here's my
side
thing.
to side.
Here's my thing.
You know what I mean?
Here's my thing.
Everything is communication.
Now, I agree with Pete. When I was younger, there were situations where I hooked up with somebody, you know, almost immediately, and here 3 years later, we're still in a relationship, you know. But there were other times where I hooked up with somebody really rather quickly, and I was like, okay, you disgust me. You can go now. And they're like, wait, what? You let me do this disgusting thing to you on the first night? Like, listen.
So who else did it to you the night before, the week before, right, Dex? That's what you thinking?
I'm just saying certain things you gotta kind of you have to gauge the sex.
Give me an example of a sex that is like, oh my God, you're fucking disgusting now that it's over.
For example, and again,
me busting on your face.
I am not gonna sit down.
That's it. That's nothing.
I'm not gonna sit down and say I'm the most mature person. Okay, so understand that. That's my disclaimer before I make this statement. Now, for example, I go to the club and I meet a young lady, right? We decide to hook up, and she's like, "Oh, you don't need no condom." And I said, hold on. Me being, let's go ahead and say I'm an idiot and say, you know what, you're right. I don't need no condom. And I smash her raw. And then she's like, hey, you know what? Let me lick your booty hole. And I'm like, you know what? I've never had a booty hole lick before. Go ahead. Let's see how this works out. Then she's like, yeah, you could put it in my ass and then in my mouth and then come in my eye afterwards. And if you want to, you can loop and fuck the back of my ear. It might have been
always extreme as fuck.
Listen, listen, don't judge me for my fetishes, damn it. But if we do all of these things and the next day, like, hey, so what's your name? My name is gone, bitch. You have a good one, though, you nasty hoe.
So you would never date a porn star, basically.
Oh, yeah. I've already said I could not date a porn star.
Yeah, he has said that before.
I do not want, listen, again, something I could do. For one, I don't know how many dicks you take. I don't want you to come in from work one day and be like, man, I had a long day. Your wording alone might send me down a spiral. I'm not mentally there. I can admit to these things.
You need therapy. But
you need therapy, seriously.
It's all perspective, though. You know what I mean? Like your perspective on what disgusting is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone might not find any of those things that you said disgusting.
You're right. Here's where it becomes logical. It's illogical. Like the whole concept is logical. It's illogical. Don't get me wrong. But here's where it becomes logical to me. If I met you tonight and without knowing me, you're like, hey, you don't need a condom. Then all that's gonna run through my head is, how many other niggas did she tell this to? She don't know me. She don't know what the fuck I got. Why is she willing to let me raw dog her up and down this hotel room? More importantly, how do I know she ain't do that 15 minutes ago before she came here?
Correct.
That's where my mind frame is going.
Yeah.
So I do agree that you can be with someone after you hook up rather quickly. I just fully believe it depends on the kind of sex you've had, because some sex there is no going back from, but other sex matches your lifestyle perfectly, and it might make the best of relationships. They might be like, hey, I got this toy. How did you know I like to be pegged? Damn, that worked out. Let's go ahead and do this.
How do you know? The real question is, why do you know what pegging is, Dex?
Because I like to learn things. Why wouldn't I know what pegging is?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea until I hooked up with this. Well, you know, a lot of these straight bisexual dudes. Anyway, met a dude at the bar. Went back to his house, and he was like, "I want you to peg me," and I was like, "The fuck is that?" And then he showed me how the women strap it up, and I was just like, I was blown away.
Wait,
I was blown away.
I'm a little confused here now, because like I said, I knew about pegging because
he wanted me to. He had a strap on. The strap on was huge though. It was bigger than me.
That's what I'm saying. So hold on.
So he wanted me. I'm like,
is pegging with a strap on, or like do you have to have a strap on for it to be pegging? Out of curiosity,
That's what pegging, to my knowledge, is, and you already know what this is, Dex. Don't act brand new. We can see it in your eyes. But to my knowledge, pegging is when a woman puts the strap off on and fucks the man. So we were already doing it. I already gave him the dick, but then he was like, "I want you to peg me too," because he had like this 13-inch dildo, and I'm like, "What's pegging?" Like, I'm already
you need a dildo. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Okay, I didn't know about that. But the point is, like I said,
you knew, Dex.
I did not know, but thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. I knew a lot, but I didn't know that much. I was curious. But
you ain't know.
Jacobi, listen, people need to know that side of me, Jacobi. We need to come on. We got to keep something private.
You know, we open and honest here at the Complicated Discord.
Okay.
But no. So you know what I'm saying? It depends on the kind of sex you have, in my personal opinion. But that's just me. We've already established I don't got it all there.
So you want missionary sex on the first night, basically, because
I don't want missionary sex on the first night.
Oh my God, I hate that. I only want doggy style for the first month because I don't want to see your face.
Here is the thing. I like to do all kinds of nasty shit. I'm just saying, you can't out nasty me on the first night. If you out nasty me, it's kind of like, well, damn.
So you have control issues.
Have y'all ever seen that movie with Kevin Hart and Michael Ealy?
Bro, come on.
What's the name of it?
I forgot the name of it. So they were hanging out and about last night.
About last night.
So basically, she was talking to her friend. I'm sorry, it wasn't Kevin Hart, it was the other chick. Forgot her name. So she was saying, basically, when you have sex on the first night, you don't want it to be out the part. You kind of want it to be subpar. Only because you have something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You have exceptional sex. That's it. Like, that's it.
You set a standard that you need to keep up. You can't keep that standard up. We got problems.
Yeah.
And it has to be good if you want them to come back.
He didn't say bad.
I agree, though, Pete. You don't want to pull out all your bags, like all your tricks on one night. Like, you don't want to do that. Yeah. So you want to layer it slowly.
So, hold on. We're going to move on here shortly, but just a quick question. So am I the only one that feels like, I feel like Pete agrees with me, that it depends on what kind of sex you have, whether it'll ruin the chance of a relationship or not?
Yes.
Anyone else? Am I the only one that thinks so?
I kind of agree.
Yeah, the unprotected sex part you're right, like in that sense, like when it's coming from a woman especially.
Because remember, I told you guys about that story with that pregnant chick. And one of her biggest thing was, you don't need a condom. I need to go because you don't know me. You don't know what I got. You don't know what kind of hoe I am. Why would you put yourself and your baby at risk?
Your life at risk, yeah.
Thank you for making sure I was not interested in you altogether, not just because you're pregnant. The pregnancy was a big thing, but now, your personality just kind of ruined it for me. And
I've gambled with my life a lot.
I just want to say, pregnant sex is awesome.
I mean, yeah, you would know you're always pregnant.
Wow.
He's coming for you, Pete. He's coming for you, honey. He is coming for you.
Is this great value Maxi Priest looking motherfucker coming for me? What?
I know this duffel bag with locks ain't trying to talk shit.
Oh my God.
Are we about to have a roasting session?
Sexy bitch.
Are we about to have a roasting session?
Come on, man. Let's get back together. Come on.
But what were we talking about?
We're talking about the whole sex bit about you layer it. You don't just hit it out the park. Right?
You're right. You want to layer that shit. You don't want to just bring all your goodies and then lay it on the table. And now she's like, now what? You're like, now what? Yeah, it fucks the whole thing up now.
Unless you both bring your A game and now you're both kind of like, hey, what's up? Now you guys both have a lot to work with because you can say, look, we both gave each other an A+, so now we can go up and down on this one.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's move on to the last and final topic of this evening. So we've already established about the whole friends with benefits and the what are we. Now, usually when people ask what are we, sometimes people will give an answer because they legitimately like that person or they feel that way. Other times it's kind of one of these, ooh, they asked, shit, this is going to be awkward. You know what? We are whatever you say we are. And then now they're with that person for X amount of time, whether it's good or bad, it was still kind of a settle because it was like, are we together? I mean, sure, I guess we're together. So before we even go any further, let me ask everyone here their own specific definitions of the word settle, and then is it okay to settle in a relationship? I will start with you, Christy.
You see this face.
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know what settling is, honey, because that's something that I don't do.
Okay. All right. How about you, Pete?
No, I don't believe settling should never occur.
But what do you feel like settling is?
Yeah.
Settling is unwarranted compromise.
Oh, good.
Unwarranted.
Yeah, very good.
Granted, when you're with somebody, it is compromise. It's a constant compromise. But with settling, it's where you're compromising yourself, and it's a bad compromise.
Interesting.
It's a terrible one at that.
Settling is that your happiness is gone.
Yeah.
You were both talking. I couldn't. I'm sorry. No.
Was that?
No, Pete and I'm sorry, Jacobi and Christy were both talking. I didn't understand what they said.
Oh no, I was saying settling means that happiness is gone for one person.
And I was agreeing.
Interesting. So you feel the same way, Jacobi. You don't believe settling is a good thing.
Well, so I just had this conversation yesterday with a friend, and I do believe I think the concept of settling isn't good, but I think it's perspective, because he was telling me, we were just talking about relationships, and he was saying, Jacobi, you just need to stop living like trying to find this like fantasy man and just find you in this particular friend has an older boyfriend who's like 30 years older than him. So it's kind of a sugar daddy complex with their relationship. He's like, just find you a nice older guy. And I was just like, he was like, and don't think of it as settling. Just think of it as I'm allowing myself to be treated right. And I was just like, no, I think of that as settling. I don't have a desire to lay up with a 60-year-old man every day or a 70 or 80-year-old man every day. So to you, it's not settling because you're happy there, but I wouldn't be happy there. You know what I mean?
Jacobi, you're right. That absolutely is settling. I absolutely agree with you.
Well, hold on now, because what works for you might not necessarily work for the next guy.
Right. It's not settling for him. They're genuinely happy together. Even though they're 30 years apart, he's not, him dating an older man isn't settling to him.
Exactly.
To me, it would be. My perspective is different.
Exactly. Settling is all about perspective. What I might consider settling, you might not. For example, I was reading something where it was. I read this little thing where the guy was like, well, people don't really understand what settling means. And he was like, if say two people get together, right? And one person makes, let's say, $20,000 a year. And they're like, well, I want somebody who makes $100,000 a year. And they get with someone who makes $60,000 a year. They're not technically settling. They're moving up from where they are. You can only necessarily settle if you're making $20,000 and the person you're with now is making $10,000, because now you're settling, because now you're like, look, he's not making what I'm making. So, and I'm not sure if I agree with it, but I do get the concept of where he was going with the conversation,
That's settling.
I don't necessarily.
But I don't think that's settling, because money doesn't buy happiness, and settling is when you lose your happiness.
Money. I don't mean just about money. I mean, It was just about there was a general thing, If you say, hey, I want to be with someone who has this much time, and I might not have, 3 days off during the week, but I have 2 days, you're not technically settling. But if you go with someone that has, half a day off, then that might be considered settling, because now you're getting less than what you originally wanted. Yeah. Now you're settling for less, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's terrible compromise.
Yeah, the concept I get. Now, like I said, I agree with everyone. Settling in the beginning of a relationship or settling to be with someone is never a good idea, because after a while you look at them, you sort of grow animosity. It's kind of like, well, I got with this motherfucker.
And resentment.
Yep.
Yeah.
You start resenting that person. And the thing is, the other person might not even ever know what the problem is, They might be comfortable in their station, but you want more.
Yeah.
And that's how these unhealthy relationships drag on,
I end a relationship quickly. Like, seriously, like marriages, I will divorce quickly. I've divorced quickly in past marriages. When I feel that someone is not meeting the expectations that I thought that we agreed upon. So I'm not going to settle, because me settling means that I'm going to be unhappy. That's
Right.
just what it is.
Can I ask you a quick question about that, Christy?
Mhm.
That statement you just made, when you say agreed upon, it's weird. I don't want to ask you this the wrong way, but I think I can't
No,
find
just
a word
ask
for
it. Just ask it.
So okay. So say for example, you're with your husband, you and your husband are together, and you say, "Hey, look, when we got together, you agreed that you're gonna get me, let's say, flowers every day for the month, every day, every single day we're together." And now he can't. It almost makes it seem like, if you say, "Well, I'm gonna leave because it's not what we agreed on," it almost made it seem like the marriage was contingent on that. You
Okay.
understand?
So
Like I said, I'm having a hard time explaining what I'm trying to ask.
I will say this. That was a good example you used, but in my situation, it's totally different. If we're together in a relationship, like my husband and I, and initially when we got together, he knew that I wanted to be in the, pursue my degrees and things like that, right? And so I held up my end of the bargain because I knew my biggest thing in any relationship I'm in is always financial stability. That I will leave you for. So the flowers, all the other stuff I don't really care about. But if my husband, for example, he doesn't hold his end of the bargain to go to school, to do whatever he's going to do to stable us as a unit, I'm not going to settle because now you change your mind and you no longer want to do it. You know what I mean? I'm talking about major life decisions that I will not settle for.
Okay, so wait, your thing is not that they can't do it, is that they change their mind and it's okay. I get that a little more now.
They changed their mind without a discussion. Like, I was in a marriage before that we had an agreement and I was supportive in that marriage, and that person changed their mind on so many different levels and did not talk to me as their spouse to have that conversation about that transition of that change. Now, I'm not going to settle because that's not what I agreed to initially. I don't agree with that. You made that change on your own. So now you're about to be divorced. You're single, basically. That's what that is.
Let me ask you one more question, then we'll go over to someone else real quick. So with that, it almost sounds to me like you see things as you can divorce someone and still love them. Divorce necessarily isn't always about falling out of love or not being in love. You can divorce someone because, look, we agreed to this and this isn't what it is. I still love you, but I just can't be with you.
Of course.
That's basically what it is. So marriage for me is that if one person makes, or even not even marriage, any relationship that you're in, that both parties live together, you pay bills together, things like that, is that you cannot make a decision without having a discussion with the other person, because now you're forcing the other person to accept your decision. And that's not what we agreed upon. And now you're expecting me to say, "Oh, well, I love you so much. So I'm so in love with you. The sex is so great. We've been together for 2-3 years, married 5 years. So I'm going to accept that shit." No, the fuck I'm not. We are getting a fucking divorce.
Okay.
100.
Jacobi, your opinion on this?
I agree with what Christy just said. Like, I wouldn't, when it came to major things, like flowers every day, if you change small character, like, habits, if some small habits change, not even character, if small habits changed over the years, that's one thing. But if you made huge life choices, like you dropped out of college or something, and you know what I mean? Like, or like if you did that and you're trying to say that you want to build a future with me, but yet you can't communicate about life-changing decisions, then I would be on the same page as
If
Christy.
you're not strong as an individual, how can you build with that unit with two people? You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to say this. My husband gave me his GI Bill. I made a promise. I will go to school, use that GI Bill appropriately. And I got 2 master's degree, a postmaster's with his GI Bill. Okay. So now imagine if that man gave me his GI Bill and I did not hold up my end of the bargain. He's supposed to settle with me after he invested hundreds of thousands of fucking dollars. Now he's supposed to settle because I'm his wife and I have his children. Fucking no. Leave because I did not hold my end of the bargain and I did not discuss it with him first. I just made a decision. Boom. I don't want to do this shit no more.
Let me say something real quick. If y'all are listening, take notes. That shit was profound and it was absolutely true. That's so very
100.
Hey, so Jacobi, question for you real quick. So if you're with someone, right, and they gained a bunch of weight, would you stay with them? Would you consider that as settling with someone who gained a bunch of weight? No.
Are you taking jabs at me again?
No. No. That's legitimately a question. Because Christy was explaining, what we agreed upon and what happened. Now, sometimes gaining weight is something that people can't help. Sometimes it is all by choice because you decide to eat KFC 16 times a week.
If I'm in love with you, and it's real. If you started gaining unhealthy weight, I would communicate to you about how much I care about you and care about your health, and hope to motivate you to try to change your perspective on the way you treat yourself. If you could not do that and you decided to still like just blow up, I would probably have to leave, because I have been with, for the way I think now is you can't be around me and not care about yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
let me ask you this. What if they have a thyroid issue and they just cannot?
That's different. That's different.
Will say, so it is not the weight factor. It's because they choose not to change their lifestyle. It's
because they're choosing to not care about themselves, right?
Got it. Okay.
You know what? I actually had that same conversation with somebody, Jacobi did. Like, so if your wife gained 300 pounds, would you leave? I'm like, it depends. I'm like, I probably would. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, if my wife gained 300 pounds, right? I would try to.
It'd be easy to leave. She can't chase you. All you gotta do is get up and walk away.
I can't stand y'all. Y'all so fucking annoying.
Jesus, bro. Hey, but no. So I was like, yeah, I wouldn't. They're like, what do you mean? I said, look, I would talk to my wife first. I wouldn't just be like, oh, you gained 30 pounds. I'm out, bitch. Good luck rolling to the bathroom, whatever. I would be like, hey, so the doctor said you're gonna die. So I feel like let's work on this together. I'll diet with you, because everything my wife does, I do. She wanted to stop eating meat, I stop eating meat because I support her.
I knew it. Fucking knew it.
So you're vegan now?
No, pescatarian. She's not eating beef. Like we eat seafood. She brought it up. She's like, I've been vegetarian, but I'm kind of getting sick of the beef. I said, okay, let's try it. And I tried it, and believe it or not, it was amazing. I love it. But
me too. I like it. Yeah.
The point is, I would be like, hey, look, the doctor, you need to lose weight. If you choose to not do that, if you're sneaking food and you're going against everything, it's not even so much that you don't respect me. It's the fact is, you care so little about me and your children, because now you're forcing us to watch you slowly die, all because you refuse to make life changes. That's why I would leave.
See, that is understandable, but some people, they get with people like Sharika, you know what I mean? My wife is a BBW, if you guys have seen her, whatever the case may be. So it would be unrealistic now for me to put pressure on her and said, oh, now you have to lose this weight. Now you have to do this. Now you have to do that to be with me.
Not only would that be unrealistic, that'd be some bullshit. That's the type of shit niggas get stabbed for.
Exactly.
Oh, you want me? When you got with me, I was chunky. Now you want me to lose weight all of a sudden? Now I ain't good enough for you? Like Jacobi said, this dick ain't good enough for you. That's how you stab a motherfucker right there.
And not only that, she has the underlying health condition. So it's like, you can't expect her to say, okay, well, I expect you to lose all this weight. It's like, no, there's other factors. So I totally get what you're saying, Dex, about health. Health is wealth. And you know what I mean? It means a lot, because it's like, you want to be around to take care of these kids, and for us to build a life together. So I totally get it. Some people, however, there's a lot of reasons why people, gain weight, lose weight, things like that. But I understand if they don't want to make the lifestyle change and you're invested in helping them get there, that person doesn't want to be in a fucking relationship.
Make the lifestyle change. Yep, that's exactly.
I'm doing this with you, baby. I'm drinking smoothie. I'm eating grass with you.
Like I'm an open-minded person, but in a couple months back, like within the past year, I met this dude online. I don't online date, but I let a friend talk to me into joining Facebook match shit. Anyway, I talked to 3 dudes, right? 3 dudes were hitting me up. In the first day, I only had it for less than 24 hours. And one of them was a really overweight guy. And the other 2 were like my size, but good looking, right? And I decided to give the overweight dude a chance because he had a beautiful smile. And I was like, maybe he has a beautiful soul. I'm not going to let the weight stop me from getting to know him. Yeah. And what stopped me from going forward, though, is because he was okay with being in that. He didn't like it, but I could see where he was in his unhealthiness. He was stuck there for a little bit more. And I knew there was nothing I could do about it. So I tried, but I was just like, you know what? You're not even interested in being healthier right now. So I can't.
So go ahead, Dex.
No, I was going to send us here from Pete, but no, go ahead, Christy. Pete can go directly after you.
No, I was going to ask Pete, like, what does he think? Because he's really silent. So I just want to know what was Pete's thoughts on it.
Oh, like I said, settling is a terrible compromise. Like, and I agree with all of y'all.
Pete, settle like, but I mean, you're a broad, healthy man yourself, Pete.
You're a teddy bear, Pete. You're a big old
teddy bear. Broad.
and healthy. But would you consider being with a more voluptuous woman? I don't even know you. I know you got a baby on the way, but I haven't. I can't recall.
I love him big. I love him big.
You like? Oh, okay.
Pete, but how would you feel if your lady now says, "Oh, Pete, you know what? Like, you need to lose some weight, or else we're not going to be together."
I would understand that. Like, I would understand that, and that would be something I would personally work on. But to answer the original question, like, when you get with somebody, for me, I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for a ride or die. I'm looking for somebody that I can share my life, my wealth, my happiness, my sorrow, my grief, my joy, my cries, my laughs. I'm sharing all of that with you. It's a roller coaster, baby.
Are you gonna share your last pork chop?
Yeah. Huh?
You gonna share your last pork chop?
Your last pork chop, you said.
He thinking.
Man, you asking a lot, bro. You asking for too much, bro. Fuck. But I'm just playing. But no, and to compromise is part of the deal because that's what a relationship is. It's a bit of a compromise, but you're going to give something up and you're going to get something back. Now, it should be an acceptable one at that. I mean, you should want to know, hey, I got something out of this. You know, like for the longest time when I was in a relationship, it was another whole happy wife, happy life thing. And I thought that was true. And I was like, no. Because now I'm unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And it fucked me up. But anyway, that's another story. All I'm saying is, as a member of the relationship, each partner, each person in the relationship should be cognizant of what they want in the relationship. Do you want your man to be fit? Do you want your girl to be sexy? Whatever. And y'all need to discuss these things. Because granted, they will change over time. You know, change is the only constant in this world. And y'all need to talk about these things. Discuss them.
It's a conversation.
Now changing them without the other person.
T-shirt.
Well,
I'm making it.
That's very well said. So
that was deep.
Being said, we're gonna end this here. We gonna end it with two things. With one of Christy's saying, remember, folks, it's all about the conversation. Let's have these things so you don't got to choke a bitch out because they decided to disrespect you over some dumb shit. Exactly. And two, don't forget to smile.
Don't forget to smile.
Like, subscribe, and follow for more. Shoot us a link, shoot us a video, shoot us some requests, whatever you want to do. Maybe we'll have you on as a guest. Go check out Miss Christie's page with the TeaPot and Nosy Neighbors. Go check out JacobiJones at @JacobiJones. He has The Queer and the Queen, and you've been doing mukbang and a lot of other things lately.
I've been doing the Adventures of Jacobi and Corey. Yeah, my friend. I'm
sorry. Did you say what now?
The Adventures of Jacobi and Corey. My friend Corey.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. I thought you said a few inches of Jacobi and Corey. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Whoa.
That's his Pornhub title.
Right. First, your pagan fantasies. Now you thinking about inches and me, like Dex.
You're a sexy man, Jacobi. What do you want me to do? You're a sexy man, Jacobi. It's hard. What do you want me to do?
To stop sleeping with married men, and I will not break my vow just because you can't control your hormones for me.
Ooh, okay. And come and check out myself and Pete with his mask on right now on Bleak Cyphers. We talk about anime, movies, and all that good stuff. And with that being said, I'm going to go because my family's waiting to go see a movie, actually. So I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.